This year, like everyone, we've experienced the dramatic contrast between plans and reality. All of us at Crisis have faced unforeseen challenges, and I've taken great inspiration from the ways our employees, supporters, partners, and most importantly, our members have dealt with these unprecedented times. They've done so with the full force of our values of resolve, adaptability, and dignity. If the year has shown us one thing, it's the fundamental necessity of a safe and secure home. Homelessness has always been a dangerous and even life-threatening situation. But in March, it became a public health emergency when people were exposed to the coronavirus on the streets or in crowded shelters. Our priorities changed overnight as we responded to the urgency of the crisis. It could have been a humanitarian disaster for people with nowhere to isolate. And our priorities have changed again as we look to the longer-term impact of the pandemic. Of course, when the coronavirus hit, our immediate priority was making sure people were safe. We called for and then strongly welcomed the Westminster government's Everyone In scheme, which saw thousands of people brought into temporary hotel accommodation, and equivalent programmes ran in Wales and Scotland. Huge steps were made during the pandemic by governments, local authorities and organisations to protect people facing homelessness. Safe emergency accommodation was provided to people experiencing homelessness. More than 30,000 across Great Britain were helped by the end of October. We quickly adapted our services. In some areas like Liverpool, we supported local authorities to find places for people to stay. We kept our buildings open for as long as it was safe to do so. We found ways to provide mobile phones and data. This meant that our members could still access our support online when face-to-face sessions became too dangerous. Our emergency appeal, In This Together, saw an overwhelmingly generous response from our supporters, both existing and new. It enabled us to provide grants to smaller homelessness organisations across the country to adapt their services in the face of the pandemic. This support meant they could provide food deliveries and personal protective equipment and offer tailored support to people in the most challenging situations, including those facing domestic abuse. Crucially, people with no access to any form of state support were also helped by this appeal. We also called for and saw radical action taken to prevent people from becoming homeless during the lockdown. Evictions were temporarily put on hold, and housing benefit was increased to ensure that more people weren't pushed onto the streets during the lockdown. That this radical, robust action was possible fuels our deep conviction that ending homelessness is absolutely possible. Of course, a hotel room is not a home. The future is still uncertain for many people who have been temporarily housed. We're now shifting our focus, helping people leaving hotels find somewhere secure and permanent to live. We can't let the progress made this year unravel. We must look towards longer-term solutions such as building the social homes we desperately need and ensuring that housing benefit continues to cover the true cost of rents so that people can afford to keep their homes. This Christmas will look different for all of us, but especially so for the guests we usually welcome into our centres. But we're determined that people won't miss out on the companionship and vital services that we offer. We're committed to providing somewhere safe to stay, support from volunteer befrienders, essential food and festive treats, phone and online support, Christmas activity packs of arts and crafts, games and quizzes, health and wellbeing programmes, year-round support with training and education, advice on housing, employment and benefits, and the chance to leave homelessness behind for good. The future is unknown, but what remains true is our resolute belief that there must be a home for all, and that with our generous and committed supporters alongside us, we can achieve this.